everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TB&J podcast. Across from me is my co-host, Troy Brittingham.
Hello.
And we got Chris Carroll off to my side.
I'm here.
And Dee and his wife are with us today. What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Hey, hey.
And this is the last episode of 2021, you guys. How do you feel about
See you all next year.
it? And with that...
TB&J! TB&J!
Jeff is attempting to stifle his laughter. He's muted himself. He's still laughing.
TB&J!
He thinks that the muting isn't doing anything now that we pointed it out.
I should have muted all of you.
You probably should have. You should probably still do it.
Guys, right off the top, I gotta say this, okay? I gotta say
Jeff
this.
Bezos killed Betty White.
First of all, we are recording on New Year's Eve 2021. This is the last episode of 2021. However, also, when I was a child and I was forced to spend large amounts of time with my mother because she is codependent and cannot be alone in a room, we watched at least a couple times through every single episode of every single season of The Golden Girls. And as a child, I loved this show that none of my friends had heard of until they got older and got cooler. And today, very sad day, Betty White has departed from the world. At 9:30 this morning, she was pronounced dead by local authorities. They believe it's natural causes. They don't believe any foul play is to blame, or any COVID-related illnesses or anything like that.
This episode?
Chasing after Jeff Bezos, who definitely murdered Betty White.
Yeah, we decided that we were gonna pin it on some billionaire that we hated, so that way we have another.
And
reason
Elon
to
Musk
them.
was unavailable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
She was on the space
You
rocket.
see,
the
Jeff
Venus one.
Jeff Bezos was flying by in his rocket, and he did a drive-by on Betty White.
I see. So it is a very, very sad day
Same
for
people that killed Biggie.
the world. We have lost
And
one
Tupac.
of the we have lost a very great female
Tupac's
comedian and actress from the world.
She's one of the few females that did not need to be. She was very sexual, actually, in nature and jokes and stuff like that.
Rarely use protection.
But no, she really was able to transcend age and still be relevant as a female, and use humor and not
Very
be,
hard to do.
Gross, yes, and not be gross humor, and not be.
Or be gross like that one that was on The View.
Do you have to?
What
No,
was her
I
one
don't.
on The
I
View?
don't care. I don't care about her. I care about Betty White.
Real husband and wife
I'm
bickering,
just
guys.
saying- I know, no, but it's really super sad because as a female, she is the icon of being feminine, not being exploited by her femininity, not being exploited by having to be gross or ridiculous, just
Yep.
being funny for funny's sake. There's few females. Lucille Ball is another one. Just clean comedy that was very, very funny and just cool to be cool. And it's
Yes.
females do not get to be that way all the time.
Mhm.
Correct.
Okay, and that's just what I'm saying.
There's a great book from Tina Fey that explores that exact subject.
Yes,
And
yes, it does.
and there's a
Indeed it
great interview in there that she does with Carrie Fisher about it. Another
Yep.
great
Mhm.
fucking female
Mhm.
power in the world. But yeah, so today, despite the sadness of losing Betty White, we will trudge on and we will discuss the book of Boba Fett, Chapter 1, A Stranger in a Strange Land. Guys, thumbs up, thumbs down.
is. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
I mean, usually I'm not very positive on Star
I'm
Wars
sorry.
things.
Troy,
but
Troy, shut up.
My fiance is behind us playing Fortnite, and I keep seeing Troy look at her screen instead of looking at the podcast.
I can't not look. I don't even play Fortnite.
And you can't stop looking at
It's
Fortnite.
just my ADHD.
She's playing solos.
Yeah, I did at one point see her try to take a sniper shot at somebody, and it went directly through their legs and didn't do damage. And
Yeah. Hitboxes are wild. Thumbs up, thumbs down, Troy. Come on.
Usually, I'm not very positive on Star Wars things. I just series I don't care about.
You're one of those diehards who believes that the original trilogy should never have had a sequel.
Yeah. I always talk about this. I would say thumbs up though.
Absolute thumbs up. I went into this very hesitant because I thought it was just another like cash grab. You know, they reintroduced Boba Fett in The Mandalorian, and everyone fell in love with him, and they were like, oh great, let's just make Boba Fett have his own spin-off. Let's capitalize on this. And then I wanted to hate this so much, especially as a guy who used to hate Boba Fett so much and thought he was the most
really
overrated.
Is
reinvented.
used to.
I did. I thought Boba Fett was the most overrated Star Wars character of all time, and now I kind of think he's not. He's not anymore.
But like it's like but he never was. He was always awesome. It's just that you never saw it. No, the whole issue was
Lucas's
no one ever
Fett
had
is
a
overrated.
justification
Feige's
for it.
Fett.
Mhm.
Feige's Fett's
No one
good.
had a
Feige's Fett is where
justification
it's
for
at.
it. He was so mysterious that you could just kind of portray on him like any awesome backstory you wanted, and he just looked cool. And that was Boba Fett, and you would always say like he was totally unjustified. That like he does, and they laid it out in what was it, Clerks or Mallrats or something, where he's just like, yeah, he doesn't do anything. He has 5 minutes of screen time. Yada
Yep.
yada yada. He
Yep,
loses
yep.
the one thing. But he does have then you hear that back, and he's like, he does get Han and Carbonite. He travels him there, and then he gets bumped into a Sarlacc Pit. And this is vague, so Troy is gonna have to fill in the blanks here for how this scene differs from any past lore.
Yeah, Troy, you're kind of the resident expert on the Legends stuff of Star Wars. It's called Legends now, but previously it was the expanded universe. But I know,
similar, if I imagine.
I know in the Boba Fett.
It's pretty similar to what I remember. I haven't seen a ton of Legend stuff. I've seen enough.
Do you know what
of
this
it.
actually resembles the most? Is Patton Oswalt's description on Parks and Recreation when he does the court where you keep talking at your
Filibuster.
The filibuster. He does a filibuster, just explaining like how the cross Star Wars and it opens with him like saying like you see Boba Fett's hand come out of the like it's like literally he describes like it's scene by scene.
That's
but there's, like,
funny.
these you never saw this. There's like a
I've seen this.
15-minute
I've missed
outtake
all
him
of Parks and
literally
Rec.
just reading this entire thing, and he's like, and then yes, from out of frame you see Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, and yes, it's a crossover Star Wars. It's like it's so ridiculous, but it goes on for 15 straight minutes.
Speaking of, the boys are gonna make me watch Infinity War and Endgame tonight. So
You say
I'll be
say
caught up.
that I'm gonna out you a little bit. You said to me that you kind of wanted to watch him for New Year's.
I do. So I've actually, off topic, I've been watching a lot of Marvel clips on YouTube and stuff. I kind of have a hankering to rewatch every single movie in order.
Oh,
And
Jesus fucking Christ. I can't.
This is some crazy
can't do
character
it.
development though from you.
yeah,
This is a whole arc.
Yeah, this is like 22 New You.
yeah, new me. I'm a Marvel fanboy now. Fuck Batman. I'm throwing away all my statues.
Wait a minute, I
Of
got
which-
you one of those for your birthday. Wait a minute.
You got me one of the
Out
black
the
and
window.
Very recently.
Well, Troy,
I
you
feel
should have
like
been a
Boba
better
Fett-
friend and got him a
Yes, Boba
Marvel
Fett.
statue.
I feel like Boba Fett feels like going back in time and rewatching Return of the Jedi. Like it is the most of any, even more than Mandalorian. This really feels like we're in the original movies, and
It does, and I think
I
part
love
of that is because a lot of the effects are practical instead of CGI or special. Like there was a lot of actual like things happening on screen as opposed to the CGI coming in and doing whatever. Like those
Yeah,
there's a
CGI
scene.
dog and the CGI dragon at the end. Those were so cool.
You mean Goro? Goro was in there.
Goro dragon.
Not the
yeah,
dog.
he was like Goro, except he's a centaur at the same time.
He's
is that
Goro
Mortal
and
Kombat
Motaro.
Goro, because that's what I was thinking.
Yes.
I didn't know his name.
Wow, your wife got a
Mortal
reference, D. You must be so proud.
We're gonna
I
make
also
love
that's
then.
another series I don't really genuinely care about is Mortal Kombat stuff.
Yeah, your weird like Venn diagram of Troy interests is like Star Wars, Mortal Kombat, Avengers. So or
And then-
Marvel, I guess. So if they ever did like a giant crossover of those three games, you might just like cream your pants.
Those games?
Games, universes.
The Death Star explodes, and then out of frame, Shao Kahn says fatality.
Yeah, it was good.
The Death Star explodes. It
Oh,
zooms
if
out.
Thanos-
Galactus is
if
there.
Thanos says fatality. That'd be pretty awesome.
Why was
He
that not
turns
like
you-
an Easter egg?
He turns you into like cubes, piece or something.
That should have been an Easter egg in one of those Avengers movies where he like kills somebody and then he's just like fatality.
Why?
Because
What is the crossover there other than we're talking
Fan
about it now?
service. It's
because
called service
it's called
to
fan
fans.
service, Easter
Because
eggs.
Jeff came up with the idea, and therefore it's great.
Troy, you
It just seems like a weird disjointed thing up until now.
Troy, you keep shooting down fun, and I don't understand why. Just let
Anyway.
fun happen.
Anyway.
All right, let's talk about this
Anyway.
fun show.
Boba
What do
Fett.
you guys like about this show? What are we going? Are we gonna do a run through?
We don't have to go scene by scene, but
Schaffery?
we do get an awful lot of the backstory that we didn't get in The Mandalorian. So it's currently like present day, I should say, in the timeline of The Mandalorian. It's somewhere between 6 and 7. What? I mean,
It is. No,
Yeah.
but so they start out
I
with the
see.
flashback.
He's
But don't
just
they
an
start out the
asshole.
flashback though?
no,
Don't they
we
the
start. The
flashback?
first scene is we see Boba Fett resting in a Bacta tank at Jabba's palace, and then it cuts to like his dreams, which is catching us up to how we got to him in the Mandalorian in the first place, and it's him escaping the Sarlacc Pit. First of all, I thought it was gonna cut to like some horror show for a second when he was trapped down there in the Sarlacc, because he finds like the dead stormtrooper and like takes its oxygen like from it and just puts that in himself, and then he like cuts a hole in it and then uses his flamethrower to like cook the
Oh,
Sarlacc.
it's claustrophobic
So-
as fuck. I hated
so-
it.
so-
Yeah,
I mean,
it
I
was
lo-
so
I couple
wet.
things,
here.
but-
It's so wet
Couple
and
things in here. No,
moist
I
and
love-
cavernous.
They make they make it they make this Sarlacc Pit and him being stuck in it believable enough. I thought first of all, that can look real bad, real easy, and that can look real dumb and hard. That can be really bad, real easy, and they just about pulled it off to believability for me. To look cool as well. The flamethrower goes off. I'm down with it. A couple questions. One is, does the air he uses, because is there no air down there and he needs that air to ignite the flamethrower?
Ooh, you know what? That's a good
and-
point.
I
and-
would
and
imagine
are
that
his
there's-
burns are his burns from the fire that he had to start to like burn through there?
That or the
Does it make
acid.
sense that he would be burned by it, or is it the acid of stomach acids that
I think it's
like,
kind of left open-ended, and I think I enjoy it better that way, just because it allows us to fill in the gaps ourselves. But between being in the Sarlacc Pit and getting covered in that acid and then burning your way out, when he came out and his skin was clearly like leather and destroyed underneath, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
And then he walks in the sands on fucking the planet of Dune.
Exactly.
Forever with so like he definitely had these burns, which he does not have anymore. So this bath that he takes, what is the bath?
It's the
called?
Bacta tank. It's the same stuff that Luke was floating in Episode 5 after the Wampa attack. It's the same
So he has
fluid.
to kind of continuously do it then to heal his wounds.
And that's my question, right? So Boba Fett is a badass walking around. He's got the armor now, but like, is he chained to this Bacta tank? Does he have permanent injuries that need constant rehabilitation in order to keep
sort
going?
of like Vader.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is he like the new Darth Vader? He's got to constantly monitor that shit. Or is it just like the final phases of him recovering? Because like he didn't get beat up too badly in that attack that happens in this episode, but he was like clutching himself, saying he needed to get put back in the Bacta tank, and the Gamorean Guards like threw him in there, and I'm just like, is he like?
he got pretty beat up, but he's
did
also
he?
a tank.
He was covered in
Pretty beat up.
armor.
Listen, he covered in armor.
Listen.
He got nailed by those Johns a bunch of times, and I think not some of them were fully, like stopped by the
Like
armor.
protected.
Like he went down after
Yeah,
that.
he's
fight,
not wearing
and-
Mando armor.
Is he, though?
I mean, he's wearing
Also-
Mandalorian armor. He's not wearing. He's not.
I mean, he's literally
He's not
wearing
Din Djarin
armor.
up. I mean,
Yeah, he's not wearing that
I mean,
bullshit
I mean
armor.
the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Is some
He doesn't
serious
have the
fucking
plot armor
Mando
on.
armor, right?
The Mandalorian wears
Mando
like
legitimately has,
literal.
like,
Yeah, it's
the
like
go- that's
he's
the golden armor.
literally wearing a tank.
So
Yeah,
Din Djarin, he's basically wearing like a fucking full suit of plate mail, whereas Boba Fett, he's got the breastplate, he's got the helmet, and he's got wrist gauntlets, and he's got knee pads, it looks like. But that's kind of it.
Yep.
Which, I mean, makes sense because his armor is left over from Jango, and Jango's armor was shiny and new and full back in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and then years have passed. Who knows who... Because I know canonically Dooku held on to it until Boba was ready for it.
More like Dorku.
But, like, I don't know... First of all, we don't know, like...
Why?
Yeah, fucking... Are you making fun of Christopher Lee or Count
No,
Dooku?
just Count Dooku.
Okay.
Christopher Lee's fantastic.
Yeah, but like we don't know anymore what happened to that armor between Jango Fett getting his head chopped off and then Boba Fett acquiring it in the original
I also
trilogy.
don't dislike Dooku. I don't know where that came from. I was just
Yeah,
I
it was
just-
kind of
I
out
was
of
just
left
looking
field.
at- I was just looking to take a shot at somebody. Is all it was.
You needed that W.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll give it to
Yeah,
you.
I went after the dead to get my win.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, it is interesting that as far as the armor goes, all he really has left is like the iconic helmet, a breastplate, and then he's got the jetpack with the missile. And like, where are you getting replacement missiles for that thing? I
I
mean,
think they established that he has like some wrist rocket and like he has wrist rocket stuff. He has wrist gauntlets and some leg and like a belt pad, right? Like it's around his belt. There's some armor. They should have
Okay.
put it on initially, right?
yeah, there's a scene of him getting suited up after he climbs out of the back to tank.
This has a lot of Iron Man in it.
Yeah, honestly, that's what it felt
Which
like.
was great and holy crap, that fight, and I want to get to all that, but like that fight, man, with the shields is boss, and when he meets
Yeah.
the guy, it's fucking great.
So in the present day ish of this show, Boba Fett has assumed the role of crime boss of Mos Espa, and all of the people in the town are coming to pay tribute. There's a really funny scene where one of the aliens is talking to him and Fennec, and neither of them really know what's going on. They can't make out any of the words, and he says, "We really need a protocol droid," and I was like, "That's really funny." But then there's a
Trandoshan.
thank you, a representative of the mayor of Mos Espa who comes demanding tribute of his own.
Oh, that wasn't the Trandoshan.
Oh no, the Trandoshan.
Trandoshan's the reptile people.
Right, the Trandoshan is the reptile people.
I did have to back up to see if he was saying anything. I needed to check if it was Bosk, but
No.
The Trandoshan was the guy from the lizard people. He looks like from Land of the Lost.
yes.
Yeah.
Right,
I
right,
think
right,
he's, like,
right.
literally out
That's
of Land of the
that's the
Lost.
one Boba said. Like, no matter what they say, even when it's a compliment, it sounds like a threat. Because
Yep.
Trandoshans
Yeah,
are
that's good. That was
badass
well
and
done.
fucking vicious.
I
Right.
will say that.
When your time here be short.
But before we move super far into this,
Please.
on the flashback stuff, I was kind of surprised that we got flashbacks at all. There was a part of me, and it was sort of like a dreading thing in my in my mind where it was just like, what if they just do this show? Because everybody's like, how did he survive the Sarlacc Pit? What if they just didn't show it and they're just like, oh, just left up to your imagination, and then just like all of that stuff wasn't in it? Like that's kind of what I was expecting.
I mean, there's no way you can do that if you're doing the book of Boba Fett.
No,
though.
I agree. I don't think of flashbacks as a huge like they do
Listen,
them every now and then. But I don't
Troy,
think of it.
Troy has been burned before by stuff like this.
maybe
I just don't think of flashbacks as a big Star
maybe
Wars.
in the episode
Troy's
directed by
been
Bryce
cut
Dallas
apart and
Howard.
left next to a river of fire and been burned by stuff like
yeah,
this.
yeah, and I did yell up at my former brother that I hate them. Yeah,
Oh, you're talking about the prequels. You're making a joke.
Yes, that is a joke, Jeff.
Got it.
I was talking about Lord of the Rings.
Jesus Christ.
I couldn't think of it serious for a second.
So, after all the tribute stuff happens, Boba Fett takes a walk through town with Fennec, and he's doing a lot of things that Jabba never did. Like Jabba, whenever he...
hold up, Pat,
No, yeah, please.
because I think just this scene with the rites of what was it, the gifts, the tribute. That
Yeah,
they
the
were doing.
tributes.
The mayor's guy though was great. Like that,
Mhm.
this is a really well written scene, and it's well portrayed and acted by this guy.
Also, the actor who does that representative guy, his name is David Pasquesi. I'm always bad at pronouncing his last name. He's a comedian. I know him for his stand-up, and he's really fucking hilarious. I've seen him in Curb Your Enthusiasm,
So
and
Bill Burr has like another in on this or something, because that's awesome that they're adding comedians into these Star Wars extra shows.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of them. Who's the guy who's at like the very beginning of Mandalorian? Who's like the cart driver at the beginning?
oh shit, was that Simon? No,
No,
Brian Posehn.
Brian
Thank you.
Posehn?
That's who it was. Like
That's
there's like
this
they're
is
sprinkled out
interesting.
there.
Is it? It's just Jon Favreau bringing his best, funniest friends over.
It's funny you say that
the Blue
because
Fish guy was too.
Kinda, yeah.
it's funny you say that because the guy who voices the torture droid, who's now like the greeter for Boba Fett, he is played by Matt Berry from the IT Crowd, another comedian.
Yeah, it's weird that it's just like we're just gonna put every comedian into every stand-up comedian's gonna.
I'm not complaining.
No.
What did they say? 15 minutes of Bill's Burke character had better redemption for a stormtrooper than 3 movies of what's his
Finn.
face?
Of Finn?
Finn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, that's because they forgot, basically.
They were like, "Oh yeah, you used to be a stormtrooper. Now you're just some dude." Like, yeah, no.
How do you, Troy? How do you feel about Boba Fett's former employer, Doc Strassi, coming in to pay tribute?
I don't know necessarily who this is.
No,
I don't know
is he
if
not a
I-
guy that was in 6 or 5?
I don't
I figured
remember
you would
his
know.
character popping up, but
Okay.
I think it's just some background information of Boba.
Okay. Cool. That
We'll
is
see it in
the
a
thing.
flashback.
I'm sure we'll see him in a flashback. Yeah. But then there's that whole scene with the representative, which is kind of funny, but also kind of like threatening, because it seems like the mayor is expecting Boba to pay him tribute when Boba says to Fennec, "I'm the crime lord. I'm supposed to get paid."
I just like the fine line that's going on here with that this guy is delicately, the diplomacy that this guy is laying out, and this guy's life is legitimately on the line. Like the messenger, like he's really trying to play this, but also has to be menacing to some degree.
Yeah, he's trying to act tough, but step on eggshells at the same time.
Yeah, and it's just really this is a really important expositionary scene, and it doesn't go well if it doesn't work. And the dynamic between the three of them, Boba and Fennec and this guy is just really good. And Fennec playing the kind of Boba Fett role now to his hut kind of is a neat dynamic, because he's got to not be the silent type. He's got to, he wants to work with diplomacy, so
he does.
Diplome.
He says he doesn't want to rule with fear. He wants to rule with respect.
He actually says, "I want to rule with diplome." That's the exact wording.
No, it's not. And then Fennec
I
says,
want to rule with this diploma that I got from Hutt University.
Jesus Christ. Is Hutt University one of those online, just like diploma?
It's like Trump University. It's just total scam.
It's Prager,
Yeah.
it's PragerU.
It's PragerU. Great job, Troy. Great job.
Print it out.
There's no actual campus.
So Boba says he wants to rule with respect, and Fennec says, "If I may, in times of uncertainty like right now, it's better to rule with fear." And he was.
Wow, that was a weird tick you just had. What happened there?
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the show.
Fennec Shen is a known Trumpster.
Oh,
Jesus
no.
Christ.
I mean, she's got the red hat.
Oh my God.
Make
In these
Tatooine great
uncertain
again.
times, if I hear that on one more fucking commercial,
Or in these unprecedented times. Like, shut up.
We get it.
It's
The world's
important to
kind of
be
fucked.
with the ones you love, just not very near.
Who's the equivalent to like a Fauci of like the CDC of Star Wars?
Oh God.
Bail Organa.
Yeah.
Well, Organa's
trap
dead.
guy.
Is there a famous doctor? There's not really any medical people in Star
there's
Wars.
that one
Star
doctor
Trek.
in the Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yeah,
show.
but he's the guy
He's
who
evil.
want people to get COVID. He'd
Everyone's
be
a
like
doctor.
he'd be like Dr. Oz.
He invented COVID.
fuck that guy. He's running for Senate in PA.
That's the reason I brought him
Yeah. I know.
Anyway,
up. The world is terrible, but Star Wars.
Star Wars is where we can
Where's the-
escape.
where the problems are easily solved.
You just flamethrowers all the way down.
Flamethrowers, missiles.
I
That
have
or
a
hope the
question,
writers
though.
have a stroke.
So who's the people with the eyes that are made of metal? That I know
The Sand People? The
Tuskens.
Raiders?
Called the Sand
The
People?
Jawas.
Jawas.
Well, do you mean the Jawas or the Tusken Raiders?
The Jawas are the creepy little hooded people.
Yeah, no, not the little people or
The
small
Tusken
people,
Raiders.
whatever's proper. The taller
They're
people
like
are
covered in bandages.
Yeah, bandages. Yeah, and they have
Yeah.
like metal eyes or something, but
Goggles.
metal like cylinders. They're metal. All right.
Aren't they just masked?
They are masked. They've never shown what they actually look like. I don't think.
Yeah, we don't
You
know if
never
they're
see what they're like?
we don't know if they're like human faced
Oh, really?
or
I
if
would
there's
I would take a guess that it's gonna happen in this show. That's my
they've
that's
been
my
doing
Boba
a
Fett
lot of
prediction.
Tusken Raider stuff and I'm for it.
That's my Bobbert
Oh,
Bobbert Fett prediction.
Yeah,
That-
that's a good
My
one.
catalog of Bobbert Fett.
Do I need to
prediction.
erect a wall here?
Just because that's exactly what it is, because they're gonna come up as I was just thinking that the entire time. They're gonna be like Mandalorians, where it's just like, oh no, they're just wearing armor. They're just wearing because they live in the sand and they can't breathe that stuff all the time.
There was
Right.
there was like a Legends stuff where I think they did show one of their faces, but I don't think that any of that's gonna.
None of that's
I
canon.
saw
And what
that
it looked
on
like.
the Star Wars subreddit. I believe that was a dream that Anakin was having.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So I really are we gonna get back to talking about the show because
Yes.
No,
it's
we're
the
ending it
tributes.
right here.
Yeah. See you next week, everybody.
was
Leave
All
a
right, well,
email
Happy
at
New Year.
TB&J podcast.
Jesus Christ, Troy. That was good.
I'm dying.
That was good.
I'm not dying. I just
real
had
quick,
COVID.
real quick, I want to say,
Oh, no.
for Troy's sake and for you, D, I don't know if you follow like actual Star Wars timeline. This show takes place in the year 4 ABY or after the Battle of Yavin.
Okay.
So this is not
Obvi.
Abi.
up.
So this is not terribly long after the end of episode 6, I think. Right?
Well, it would be after Mandalorian, which is like a few years after that.
Okay.
Because obviously he's.
I said this to
far as
clarify
I-
things. I feel like we're more confused.
No. Yeah, I thought it was like 4 or 5 years after the end of Star Wars.
Yes, that's what ABY means.
This is probably going to happen alongside whatever the next Mandalorian is.
Okay, yeah, the Mandalorian takes place in 9 ABY.
Yeah, so if he has his armor,
And this is
if he has his armor,
who said that this is for? Jeff, I'm blaming you. Jeff, you're
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia knows nothing.
that's not a source for college, Jack.
It's after Mando season 2. Let's just say that.
Yes, because Boba has his armor back. He took back over.
He's friends with Fennec.
He killed Bib Fortuna.
Bibs.
can do it.
R.I.P. B.I.B.
Yep. Bib Fortuna is gone.
Bib is PBR.
This PBR.
Mr. Bib is PBR.
Made him choke on his tuna.
When are we going to get a
Jokes on
Bibs
tuna.
Fortuna series?
I just imagine Bib Fortuna sitting there on the throne with a fucking Pabst Blue Ribbon, and he's just like sipping some real shitty beer while he's trying to rule Mos Espa.
I mean, it's Tatooine. That's basically the south of Star Wars.
Moss Eisley.
No, they're in Mos Espa.
There's 2 different places. Mos Eisley's
The wretched hive of scum and villainy.
You be quiet.
And is it that place?
No, this is a different town. This is a town called Mos Espa.
What does Moss mean?
It's city.
It's
It's a word. D. It
She's
does
the
not-
she's the star of Handmaid's Tale, Elizabeth Moss.
And where is Princess Vespa from?
She's from
Jewidia.
Tennessee.
okay. So
How
Mos.
do you guys deal with him every week? Although I deal with him every day.
We
Here's
don't. The
thing.
answer is we do not.
Oh, I'll tell you my
Okay.
secret. I'm just absolutely fucking blitzed
Time
out.
every time.
Time out. Time. Okay.
What?
So, on the planet of Tatooine, there are 2 major spaceport locations. The first is Mos Eisley, shown in Star Wars, 1977. The biggest city, the bustling spaceport with an active criminal underworld. Boom. Second city, Mos Espa, shown in Phantom Menace, 1999. Also home to the Boonta Eve classic pod race track and the home city of Anakin and Shmi Skywalker.
Okay, but that's not true because Boba literally talks about Anchorhead, which is another spaceport on Tatooine.
Okay, they say 2 major spaceports. I'm on Wikipedia now.
Anchorhead's like the original
I'm
spaceport.
on Wikipedia. What do you want?
What was the bar I went to in Disneyland? Disney World? What? Where did I? What part of Disney World was I visiting?
Who
I believe
knows?
that's the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Moss High. No, it really. They recreated
Anchorhead
a
is a
bar.
settlement, not a spaceport.
Told you we weren't at the same one.
We went to a
Okay,
bar.
but it is a spaceport though.
It's a settlement, not a spaceport. I'm on Wikipedia. You can't argue with the nerds.
This is
Boba-
the worst part of Star Wars. This is the worst part of all
Boba
Star
Fett
Wars.
literally says we can get off world there.
That doesn't make it a spaceport. That just means somebody has a ship.
Oh my god.
Jeff, I'm gonna stab you.
I'm just saying, man. Also, Tashi Station is a settlement.
With
No, that's a station.
Nope, it's a settlement.
Oh,
thought
fuck!
Tashi
I needed to
Station
go
was
to
the
Tashi Station to pick up some power converter.
We didn't get power
God
converters.
fucking damn it!
God damn it, Troy.
God damn it!
Fuck you,
I
man.
always forget this.
You fucking idiot. How did you forget the fucking power converter
Sorry.
at Tashi
All
Station?
All right, assholes. You can go tomorrow. Now go
Should we
clean.
talk about this
go
show?
clean up those droids.
Should we talk about this show now?
Go clean up those droids. Get back to work.
Was Amy Sedaris in this one?
No. But fucking just to wrap up the rest of the modern day shit. They go to collect tribute from the
It's like a
cantina,
casino.
the cantina
Oh.
in
No,
Mos
we
Espa.
we forgot also that the 2
Gamorean
guards who were
Oh, the 2 guards.
Gamoreans who were loyal. Who, by the way,
Weren't they also in Power Rangers?
these guys, they did look like
Christ.
the what do they call the mopes, the hands guys, the muddies, the putties,
The putties.
The putties. They look like putties.
What are you?
But didn't these guys look like? Okay, my imagining of the original guys is like they did latex suits. These guys are just guys in pig heads, right? These are just fat
Yep.
dudes in
Yep.
pigs, and they look awesome.
Spray painted their bodies.
They look
100%.
amazing. I'll also say the Gamorean Guards in this one actually do things and kick ass, and that never got shown in episode 6. They were just
They
cannon
got
fodder.
choked
They were
out, and
just-
that was it.
They just look like piggies in their big armor. They didn't look like they can move.
They just look
'cause
like
they were
piggies.
Because they were in those big giant suits and they didn't really have a lot of maneuverability. These guys are just
They did in Power Rangers.
these Power Rangers. They learned from the Power Ranger years in the interim. The 90s.
The Gamorean
90s.
Guards.
Episode 11.
The Gamorean Guards are also the reason you should always pick Empire when fighting on the Jabba's Palace map in Battlefront 2, because the Gamorreans fight with you on the Empire. So it's like
Gamorreans
free
are
reinforcements.
Some more background information on Gamoreans. They cannot speak Basic.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you need a
Nice.
protocol droid to understand them.
Interesting.
Unless you speak, I don't know what the fuck.
Gamorrean.
Gamorrean.
Anyway, so the 2 Gamorean Guards are offered to Boba Fett
So
as
wait,
tribute because they
this
used to
is the
serve
Marvel-
Jabba and
This
Bib.
is the Marvel crossover because they must come from a Gamora, right?
Oh,
Yes.
Which is the name of.
Yeah,
Isn't that the name of.
I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
Gamora's
I
actually
mixed-
just-
Gamora's green. These
she's,
guys are
she's
green.
just a really, really, really fit.
where's my
Gamorrean.
dun dun dun? dun.
Oh wait, Gamora is okay. I got you. She's Gamora's from Gamora.
Hold on,
Okay.
Jeff's doing a
And she's
thing.
green.
He's searching
I
his
like it.
buttons.
I don't
He didn't
have
find it. Jeff, you're a loser.
We're
Alright,
also
go ahead.
gonna start a hit show called the Jesus Christ. Never mind. It was gonna be a Gilmore's Girl joke, but whatever. Fuck it.
Gomor girl? Gomor?
Couldn't do it. It couldn't happen. I couldn't get there. It's impossible. You try to say it at home, you can't.
So the big long, the guy from the mayor has those big long tentacles in the back. Is there?
He's a
name for those
Twi'lek.
He's a
people?
Twi'lek.
Twi'lek. And then the lady that's in the bar.
Also a
it,
Twi'lek.
Is also a Twi'lek.
I think those are hot. I'm starting to think those are hot.
I'm
So
for it.
there's
and
like
then
a
the two
weird
slave people that are different colors, or not slave, but like
Employees.
Yes, so that they're like known to be sort of a race that is
They get exploited like
they
every fucking movie.
yeah
do.
they were really made kind of to be hot at first by George, and then
I get it.
uh,
they have legs in their head.
yes, no, but they,
and George is a leg man, so he's like, put more legs on him. I want more fucking legs.
but at the same
No, don't end them in feet. I'm not into that.
but at the same time they also like there's like a whole sort of backstory with their planet of like getting like beaten up and enslaved and everything throughout like the whole series, so there's like a whole thing with that.
But are they all the mayor's people, or like, so when I went into that bar scene, I couldn't tell if the manager lady was being nice, was being double-handed. I know she handed him money at the end.
She's hedging her bets.
I couldn't gauge, and I like that I couldn't gauge because I don't know what to do with it. I didn't know if you guys had.
I
any more
think she was
backstory.
sizing up her new boss.
She's
That
a
being
Fett
Yeah.
Boba
Patel.
Fett.
And I believe Boba Fett was there kind of to say, like, listen, I'm the new guy in town, and I'll be your new boss. However, it's going to be a different relationship than the one you had with your old boss. He's establishing early on, there's a new sheriff in town. However, I'm much different from the old sheriff. Don't
Except
expect
he's
the
not
old
a
way.
sheriff. He's the crime boss.
Yes. Well,
Poor
Yeah.
analogy.
it's the mirror opposite. But basically, yeah, he's trying to establish his new relationships, and
I think
then
she's a femme fatale though. Like
Yeah, she
she's
seemed to have more behind.
she definitely is.
100%. She is sitting here playing, but she's on her own side. She doesn't know who's. She's like, okay, I'm gonna give this guy an offer, and I'm also gonna alert the mayor that he's here, and like that's how it went. Like he knows that he's not. She's not gonna ruffle any feathers. She's looking out for herself. Like that's what all it is. And I'm sure that he'll have to go back there, and they'll have a little tiff, and she'll be like, hey, I'm just a girl trying to survive, you know.
Exactly. And eventually she'll probably she'll either stab him in the back or become a nice ally, but she's definitely going to be somebody in this show.
I was mostly just happy to see that Max Rebo survived,
Yes.
drumming away on those drums.
Max Rebo is in the cantina, and the music they're playing on the subtitles, it says variation of the cantina theme plays.
So jizz music.
Jizz music, correct.
We're jizz wailing.
Oh, it was jizz. They were playing jizz.
They were playing
Mhm.
jizz.
So
Playing
so
on
does
their
Actually
jizz
the name of
flutes.
the-
does your wife know this?
They're playing their
Does,
jizz flutes. She doesn't know this.
No, I didn't know that.
No, the actual music is called jizz.
it's supposed to be like
Instead of
jazz, but
I
not.
get it.
But it's
Is it with
spelled.
a Y or an I?
It's with
I.
an I. It's with an
It's
I.
impregnable
It's
jazz.
100
It's an impregnable jazz.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can always get pregnant from jazz.
Oh God, I hate
So,
my life.
So the shield fight Stop. The shield fight. Fucking A. The shield fight comes right after this bar scene or
Yes.
cantina meme.
Yes.
And I mean, I guess are they kind of like stormtroopers where they're not very well versed in fighting, but they got cool gadgets?
No, they were the ninja. They were the Star Wars hand. They were space hand.
What?
He's saying
the
they're ninjas.
the guys that came, the ninjas.
He's
that
talking
came out of
Daredevil.
the shield.
Oh.
They're space hands. They're spanned. The
Spanned.
You try so hard to make these puns of yours work, and I gotta say, I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the
Or
effort.
you make it SW for Star Wars Swand.
The swand.
So, you guys are leading into the big fight scene of the
being
one of the
ignored.
two big fight scenes. A bunch of guys come up with fucking projecting shields and little like late
Swand from the planet of sand.
electric. God damn it. Like electric swordy things, and they're like attacking Boba and Fennec and the Gamoreans, and the Gamoreans get behind them. It's this really awesome fight scene. The Gamoreans
literally-
prove their weight in worth.
There literally was a moment. It's. I always think it's good writing, or like good sort of screenplay when I go, because literally there's a point in time in that fight where I go, where the fuck are the Gamoreans? And literally, as I thought that, they ran into frame, and I was just like, there they are.
Rodriguez
Never
is
mind.
Good. Rodriguez is good. I think in a lot of shows, like I have that question, and then it takes too long for it to get answered. And
Yes.
It's like, oh well, now they're here, and like Rodriguez seems to like get it to that exact moment where you absolutely
Mhm.
need that, and it's like, okay, oh, there they are, right there.
There's my answer. I
His
asked him,
his
was-
timing and pacing are really really good.
I was like, you know what? Just shoot that missile at it. Oh, good, he just shot the missile at it.
Yeah.
I love the fucking missile shot. He's just like,
Yes.
I'm just done with it. I did immediately think, watch those wrist rockets.
So there's a big fight scene. Boba Fett is badly injured, and he asks the Gamoreans to take him back to his Bacta tank. And he tells Fennec he wants her to capture an assassin alive for questioning. And there's this awesome scene where the assassins are running away, and Fennec's following them, and it's just awesome free running across the rooftops of the building. And that's probably why everyone's wearing helmets in this scene, so you can put in the stunt doubles easily. But it was a really really cool scene of them jumping and climbing and all sorts of shit. She does capture one of them alive, which is great. And then Boba gets back into the tank.
No, wait. I gotta give it to this moment though, because before Boba sends her off, he's like alive, and she's like, ugh. Like basically this is like the no disintegrations line,
Right.
yeah, and so she shows off her badassness, catches up to them miraculously, gets ahead of them after she dodges him off the other way. Which
Yeah,
is
that's
impossible,
the
but she
only
does
part
it.
of it that doesn't
But
work for
then
me. Super
it didn't
well,
work
but
for
I
me,
get it.
but
Where she
I
does
saw
the
it coming
backflip
and
off the building.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and then
don't know
she
how she
just
got
flips
back.
over in front.
but whatever. But then she basically wins them both. She has one by the neck, and then has the other one at spear point. And you just think back, and I'm like, well, this. I was like, so what's the situation here? And then she just like pushes the one off and puts the spear on the other. 'Cause
Yeah,
she
she's like,
only
I only
needs to
need
keep
one.
alive. And I was just like, oh, that was. And so much of this episode is silent. There was so much great storytelling done without dialogue.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of D. Sorry.
Get
I don't know how to
fucked.
fake
It's fine. That's
sorry, but I was so excited to not.
you were real excited to get that joke in.
Yeah, tear him down.
Yeah, kick him. And then
Spit in his eye.
and then we get the rest of the flashback with Boba Fett, which we'll just cover the whole thing now because switching back and forth is bad when you're retelling an episode. But Boba Fett escapes the Sarlacc Pit, and then Jawas scavenge his armor away. He gets dragged through the sand by the Tusken Raiders. He's a prisoner of theirs. He tries to make a break for it, but this Rodian screams and alerts the guards. He has an awesome hand-to-hand fight with one of the Tusken Raiders and loses terribly. But they still keep him as a prisoner. They don't just execute
The
him.
only gripe I have about that, it's a little dark.
It's very dark, but it's nighttime on a desert,
Yeah.
so I get it.
Yeah, I didn't mind it, and honestly, what was weird was that I watched a lot of all these shows that come out at 3 a.m. I tend to watch at 4 a.m. when I wake up for work, on my phone. So in the dark on your phone, real tight, it looks fine.
You know
The
what?
way it was meant to be
all I can say.
watched.
You know what? That's probably a solid
I'm
thing.
being serious. that I'm wondering how much people are actually like recording for that viewing experience.
That's a very good question because I do wonder about cinematography shit. That's always my biggest fascination when it comes to watching a movie or a TV show. I wonder how directors have changed the way they approach a production when it comes to like the viewing experience, especially with
I think nowadays
the pandemic.
It's less about bringing them up to your hotel room to molest you.
That's
Nowadays,
okay.
Oh
Less about
my God.
producing, right?
I mean,
directing.
He is yeah.
I
Now the
misread you.
producers are usually that, unfortunately.
I'm talking about the
Is that what the
directors.
producers was about.
No, the producers are my favorite movies. You bite your fucking tongue.
Brooks would fuck, where's Mel Brooks? Betty White's dead.
That's a good question. I wonder. I hope Mel's fine.
Same age.
Anyway, but I do wonder, especially with the lockdown and things getting sent to movie theaters and like HBO Max the same day, I wonder if directors have changed the way that they approach a production because they want it to be an optimal viewing experience on the big screen and at home. I know there are some directors like fucking James Cameron who are like, no, if it doesn't look good on a movie screen, I don't care. It's got to look good on the big screen.
Christopher Nolan's a big one.
Nolan as well. If I
know.
want it to look good and perfect on the big screen, I don't give a shit about your TV.
And also, Tenet's
know
coming
this
out in the
much.
middle of August 2020, and we're like,
This is
nobody's
kind
going to
of
see
a-
this.
This is kind of a joke, but kind of serious too, because I think it could relate. I know James Gunn made a point to make a note about like the height of actors and what they portray themselves to be in media. And whether or not that works, because like he had an issue with being able to shoot like he was like, for a movie like for instance Infinity War, where you have to have Doctor Strange and Iron Man talking to each other. They are drastically different heights. They're basically different species of person. And Benedict Cumberbatch is like 6'1", and
RDJ
is 5'6". Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a challenge. And I remember listening to, who the fuck was it? Who did No Way Home? I can't remember.
You're talking about director?
Yes.
Director, I do not know off the top of my
I
head.
can't remember off the top of my head.
Zeb.
Thank you. But
Aurelius?
The Star Wars character? Yeah.
I was watching a press junket, and he was there saying how it was a challenge to film some scenes because Zendaya is slightly taller than Tom Holland.
Yep.
And for
It's
the
not by much.
it's not by much, but
like
in
an
the
inch.
movie they shoot it so that Spider-Man always looks taller than MJ.
You see, there's a part of their dynamic specifically. They
think
could have just made him tall. They could have just made her taller.
Yeah.
They probably could have, but they just chose not to. Or maybe it's something in Marvel where it's like, no,
John
Spider-Man's got to be
Watts.
taller.
Listen, let's normalize taller women and they're smaller men.
Yeah. I just
Sure.
just make people.
I wasn't trying to
No,
instigate anything. I was just-
no.
saying.
Jeff, we know that you are a big fan of rigid gender roles. You always talk about it all fair.
That's why I refer to her as Dee's wife and never by her name.
Oh my God.
And as a possession on my part.
Yes, I
You know,
gotta
it's
make
got
sure
a
it's
D,
Dee's
like,
wife.
No, the apostrophe S, you know. For
The moment that they
I
have
think you crossed the line when you asked if you claimed her on her tax return.
Oh, God. There was a point in time where Jeff was watching this episode, and the Twilight woman comes out in the cantina and is
have to
taller than
consider her
Boba
a
Fett.
person.
Yeah, she's taller than Boba Fett, and he just went, ugh, tall women.
Yeah.
And then it was revealed that she owned the cantina. It was just like, oh, women
I can't even
are-
play Resident Evil
Tall
8.
women.
Fucking tall vampire mommy. I can't
Now
even
they
fucking
have-
play
now
that
they have
game.
legs on their head.
Yeah. Put some more fucking legs on that alien. Why she only got 2 legs? She got a head. We can fit 2 more legs up there.
The Tuscan air raiders take.
No, I'm sorry. No. The Tuscan Raiders. There's no air raiders.
They don't-
Air raiders.
She's
They don't have an
exterminator.
aeronautics program.
Just, you know.
I think she's going. I think she was thinking like Tuskegee Airmen, and she
Yep,
just said
that's
Tuscan
where it was
Air
going.
Raiders.
Yeah, nope, that's where it is now in my head. That's their air raiders.
Has a
So
Tusken Raider
them
ever flown a
people-
ship?
I like the child one.
No.
So he saves the child first, right? Or he doesn't kill the child when he has a chance when he first tries to escape.
Yes.
And then that child takes him on this journey to find the water in the shells or whatever that is. It's fine. Like, okay, there's water in the sand and shells. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're a fruit. They're called melons, according to Wikipedia.
So you
They're a
can-
type of melon.
So far, that hasn't led you
Like a
wrong
coconut.
today.
Okay, but it's not like an actual melon because they're hollow and filled with nothing but water.
I mean, coconuts
you're not
are
a real
classified
melon.
as a melon in their genome.
Listen,
And
it's
they're
an
hollow and
alien
filled with
world,
water.
Okay, Chris.
Why is
What?
this? Why is this the Jeff and
What the-
Chris debate episode?
Because Chris keeps picking a fight, man.
Wow. Is this the end of a friendship?
I hope so.
That's it.
Is this
Jeff,
why Chris points
tarps off. Let's go out into
Is
the
this why
parking
Chris
lot.
points the camera from
I'll go
his,
for a
from his
Donnybrook.
crotch up? Is that why we have the crotch view of Chris? It's
No,
different?
you have the crotch view because that's where Chris decided to put his phone.
Weird.
Anyway,
Weird
so
shot.
so
Weird
Boba
flex,
Fett
but okay.
Boba Fett ends up saving the life of the Tusken child that was escorting him through the desert as a prisoner. And when he gets back to the village, the child has the sand creature's severed head as a trophy, and everybody's like rejoicing and partying with this kid. And the leader just like, without looking at Boba Fett, just like extends his arm and offers him a melon full of water. And it's this little moment where it's
Visual
like
storytelling.
Boba Fett has clearly like proven himself to the leader. I don't think he's going to be a prisoner going forward, and this might help him in his way of getting out. I think this is where he's probably going to get that gaffa stick he has and probably learn how to fucking use it.
Can we?
I think he's gonna of course he's gonna fight that predator looking dude again, and he's gonna win. He's gonna be his right hand man.
Oh, what about that robbery that we saw?
Oh, the water
robbery of
robbery.
Yeah, with the L
With
and
him,
J,
the
or J
Rhodian,
and the
with
L.
him, the Rhodian, and the Tuscan Raider, and they're looking at a homestead that's being
Right, they were looking at a
Spray
homestead.
painting something
Is
on
the
it.
J and the L something that I don't know of?
Justice League.
No, it was a W. Wasn't it a W?
They were like being held up by like a swoop gang or something.
It's some sort of symbol. It's not a J or an L or any sort of symbol. I don't think it's something else.
Right, I think it's just something
I think
else.
It's a W.
I need to go back and look at that scene. I
Uh,
didn't pay it any mind.
it's
Who is Doa Katan? What's her name?
Doa
No,
Katan.
not Katan. Who's the other one with the tentacles that came in? She has Star Saber. Yeah,
What is-
lightsaber
Bo
girl from last
Katan?
season. not Bo Katan. the
Ahsoka
other one
Tano
that-
was what you were
Ahsoka
talking
Tano. I can't keep. up.
Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka-
Bo-Katan's
okay.
the other one. The
Ahsoka
Mandalorian
Tano.
lady.
Ahsoka Tano is looking for.
Ahsoka Tano, not Ahsoka, not Ahsoka Tana.
Is on the search for the villain known as
A soaked katana.
Moff Gideon. No. Thrawn.
Admiral Thrawn.
Thrawn. Yeah, and I heard that symbol is the symbol for a T.
Upside down T.
Thrawn.
Oh, it's an upside down T. I get it.
No,
That
it's
was-
just like it's like the language that Star Wars language. In whatever language it's a T.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but like
Thrawn.
these guys felt like it felt like it was just like a small time robbery kind of thing, or like a gang activity.
Yeah,
It
but
didn't
Thrawn.
feel like anything near big enough to.
Yeah, I don't think Thrawn would be seen anywhere near Tatooine.
No, he's a fucking admiral of the Empire. There's no way he gives a shit
And he's
about.
part of the Chiss
moisture farmers.
ascendancy.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
he doesn't give a shit about moisture farmers at all. But
Hey everybody, watch Rebels. There's some rough stuff in there. Season 2's not the best. It gets better
It
at
gets
the end.
really, really fucking
3
good.
and 4, watch Rebels.
Sure, I'll take that under advisement, Troy. I'm not gonna do that.
Thrawn or Thrawn?
THRAWN. Thrawn.
He's the Blue Man Group.
Thrawn. He's a blue man.
Like prawn, but with a TH.
What about pralines?
So I had one little like production note that I wanted to mention and see how you guys feel about it.
Hated it.
So this whole project of the Book of Boba Fett was supposed to be a movie when the idea was first pitched.
Yeah, there was. I heard about this where it was. I think it was supposed to be Colin Trevorrow, and then he moved to he was going to do episode 9, and then he just got fired outright.
I believe so, but when they were
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. He was not.
No, they were storyboarding Mandalorian, and they were gonna put the Boba Fett movie out in the middle of Mandalorian.
It was whoever did the new bad Fantastic Four movie. Whoever that director was.
Trank.
They're also bad. Though.
Josh Trank. That's what it was. Yeah, they're all bad. Josh Trank is the one who was supposed to do Boba Fett, and then
It's just trying to decipher it from all the good ones.
yeah, it was
I'm trying to
like,
filter out those good
the
ones.
worst
but it's
bad
so
one.
Hard.
It was like the worst bad one.
I do, there's no, in terms of what?
So
Try to name.
It's the one where they didn't turn on
worst
any lights.
idea.
There's no lights. They turned off all the lights on it. It's all
Wow,
dark.
that's a weird way to talk about Michael B. Jordan.
So
Jesus.
the Boba Fett film was in production with Josh Trank, and apparently at Star Wars Celebration April 2015, Trank was scheduled to announce the film with a teaser that was already cut and ready to go. But after Lucasfilm became aware of the troubled production of Trank's film Fantastic Four 2015, they canceled it entirely. And then, after the failure of Solo: A Star Wars Story in 2018, Disney canned the Boba Fett film altogether. They were gonna outright kill the entire thing, but it seems like Feige has reignited interest in Boba Fett.
Have you?
Not Feige,
Feige?
excuse me.
Favreau.
Favreau, excuse me. Favreau
God,
wanted to
I
do
thought you were
Boba Fett, and they brought it back as a series instead after the success of Mandalorian.
Have you ever heard about the Josh Trank Fantastic Four stuff?
No, because I tend to not pay attention to bad superhero productions.
Apparently, he would like sneak on afterwards and like he would like argue with
God.
people about like what color blue the set needed to be, and like they'd be like, "No, we're getting this." Like the producer would be like, "We're getting this shade of blue," and he would sneak on later. And he would just like paint the entire set, and is like, "Oh no, I guess we have to do it in this blue now." Like he was like real fucking weird.
That's like juvenile. Who the fuck does that shit?
That's something I would expect Jeff to do.
That'd be awesome, though. What are you gonna do?
Ugh, that's ridiculous. Oh my god, what a
Listen,
fucking
if
piece of
something's
work.
better for CGI or whatever, who's this?
Josh Trank.
Josh Trank, yeah, he's
Seems
he's
like a good guy. Seems like a guy who knows how to get things done.
I guess that is true. Technically, he got Fantastic Four done, which say what you will. Go
Like,
ahead.
For better or for worse, he gets ish done.
And for Fantastic Four, it was for worse.
It's always for worse. He knew that going in.
One day.
That's what Feige's like, I'm ready to go down. I'm about to do Fantastic Four. He's why he's putting it on
It's the death of the MCU is Fantastic
This is the
Four.
longest phase four. This is the longest phase I've ever seen from Marvel, and he still hasn't introduced
Oh.
Fantastic Four, and
He's
it's
like,
phase
yeah,
4.
he's like, we gotta
He's
get
like,
it
I'm
in
not-
4.
You
I
guys-
gotta get it.
You guys want some more Disney Plus Star Wars show inside scoops?
Sure.
I do.
So apparently, the Boba Fett spin-off series was not announced by Kathleen Kennedy for a long time because she wasn't sure if she was going to do it. However, she did announce that Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka, the spin-off series, were announced, and they were supposed to culminate in a, quote, climactic story crossover event, end quote. So apparently, with the canning of Rangers of the New Republic, they might rewrite Ahsoka entirely.
Damn.
Because Ahsoka was supposed to cross over with Rangers at the end.
I mean, they can still kind of do that. It's just they wouldn't have.
They wouldn't have any background for the other half of your climactic end event.
And it
Well,
sounds
no,
like
I'm
they
just
had
saying-
a big idea for Boba Fett before all of this.
Well,
so-
Boba Fett was supposed to get his film, and then after Josh Trank became an asshole and Solo failed, they canceled the film, and they weren't sure what to do. But apparently, behind the scenes, Favreau was quietly fighting for a Boba Fett something because he really liked the character,
But
and
it
then
sounds like-
he got the
but it
green
sounds
light for
like-
the series.
It sounds like he had a whole idea for Boba Fett. Mandalorian was his backdoor way into that, and now he's telling the story he wanted to tell.
That's a
So
good
they-
point.
So it makes sense,
Possibly.
that the Ahsoka stuff is completely irrelevant to this Boba Fett stuff, or that he just has a way to tie it in eventually. But I was just thinking this entire time that like Jon Favreau is just a fucking phenom.
Jon
he is-
Favreau is
he
just a god.
undisputed now, like in so many different ways. And being at best a mediocre actor, just making good choices behind the screens, in writing, in directing, in just never overdoing himself in a role, and not a shabby actor by any standard. He's a good actor. He's
Right.
You know, he credits Dungeons and Dragons for giving him a really strong background in imagination storytelling. And
Hell
understanding how to create
yeah.
Tone and sense of
Ba-ba-ba-bow.
balance. Quote from Jon Favreau.
So what you're saying is that me and Chris will one day be like Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
And as rich and as fat. Well,
I
Oh.
hope so. I want to be
I'll-
like happy.
I
I'll
want to.
take
I want.
it.
I want to see a
if
fat
Troy
Troy.
ever gets fat, I'll eat my shoe.
Oh, he's skinny
Honestly.
All right, Troy. I've got an entire ice cream cake. Shovel that into your mouth.
It won't do anything.
won't
My
do anything.
metabolism's too strong. I can't be defeated.
soon.
I'm like the Thanos
soon.
of
You're
thin.
You're
like
going
Thanos.
soon.
You just
Yeah.
need to start
Thanos.
chugging protein
Take
shakes.
that one.
Thanos was a great fucking.
Thanos, I'm very proud of him.
You're
I'm
proud
flattered.
of him.
I'm
Oh, you're proud of him.
Are you finally proud of me, D? This whole podcast has been for you. I just wanted you to be proud once.
I apologize, Jeffrey.
But I still need you to eventually get buff so we can do the Steve Rogers joke.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll
we
get
gotta make sure we
buff,
take
I'll
pictures.
get buff, and then I'll stop exercising, and all that all that muscle will become fat.
So
That's the plan.
This episode ends with Boba Fett, the crime lord, facing some troubles on wrangling in his new empire, and the past Boba Fett proving himself to some Tusken Raiders as a badass. And this is a 7-episode series. It's only going to be 7 episodes.
7?
Yep. 7 and done.
That's all
Not
they
7
need.
more.
Nope, 7 and done. Also, fun facts behind the scenes again. Normally in a show's production, the episodes have numbers like 101 and 102. Boba Fett, all the numbers are 301 and 302, as if it's just a continuation of the Mando story.
So it's weird though because they did say it was going to be like chapter 17. They're run like this. Weird...
Apparently, behind the scenes, Kathleen Kennedy and Jon Favreau have referred to this as the Mandalorian 2.5.
Yeah,
Bridging seasons 2 and 3.
Because I have heard there's like a lot of weird.
I wonder if Din Djarin, after dropping off the child at daycare, is gonna go hang out with Boba Fett. Because I mean, he's like the only Mandalorian he knows.
What that could be it. The Book of Boba Fett doesn't have a payoff on Mos Espa. Boba Fett's just in deep shit. Fennec could be captured or dead or something, and he's like, I need help, and then he fucking gives a call out to Din Djarin, and then the two of them team up for a buddy cop movie.
There was also rumors ahead of time.
Here is a great idea.
There was also rumors a while back that they were going to make this chapter 17 as the first episode.
Yes,
But I think
thought
that they
it was.
were.
I thought we saw that.
I think that
no,
they
it said
made-
chapter 1.
I think that there was enough people saying, "Oh, so Mandalorian's not coming back," where maybe they wanted to be like, "Okay,
Just swayed rumors.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
let you guys know Mandalorian's definitely coming back, season 3. Now, here's the thing: do you think at the end of this Book of Boba Fett, we're gonna get a teaser for Mando 3, the same way the end of Mando 2 gave us a teaser for Boba Fett?
I probably either that or Ahsoka. I would imagine.
Yeah, like a little end credit scene where we see like
Or one of-
Ahsoka
Or one of
with
the other
lightsabers
Star
or-
Wars properties that they're making. Like, do we have any timeline on like Andor or X-Wing?
As far as I know, no.
X-wing has been.
Wait,
You're
Andor?
talking about
Are we getting an Ewok series?
Rogue Squadron.
Andor,
Squadron.
Cassian Andor. Rogue Squadron apparently was canned,
Ass.
unfortunately.
I'm so
Can we get-
mad.
Can we turn this Willow series into a Ewok series? I'm all Ewoks all the way.
Okay, so
What do you guys think about
Ahsoka,
Ewoks?
just
There's
to,
so many people who I need to rant about Ewoks real quick. There's so many people who don't like Ewoks, and they're all wrong. They're all
wrong.
incorrect.
They're definitely wrong.
so
I
here's
need to see more badass Ewoks though, because they're basically bears, right? And bears
Yes.
can fuck you up.
Mhm.
They're cuddly ones, but like I want to see like
They're
the
more like Furbies.
I want to see the brown bear and the polar bear like
I thought
like
I got
Ewok
a Furby for Christmas and it was
that
an
just
Ewok.
like tears your face off. Like,
Oh, what? Yeah, what if there's like North
awesome
Pole
would it be?
Ewoks?
so here's some information. Here's some information.
ravenous
So
Ewok.
the Book of Boba Fett is going to wrap in February of 2022, and that is allegedly right before Obi-Wan Kenobi is supposed to drop.
Right.
Oh.
And then mid 2022, we're supposed to get the Andor series, and then Ahsoka doesn't even begin filming until May
Right.
of
But wait!
2022.
Andor.
You be quiet over there.
I'm taking the
Andor.
microphone now.
Yes,
I'm
please.
not. I'm not proud of you.
Oh, Andor's about
I'm
Cassian
not
Andor
sure.
5 years
Full
before
circle.
Rogue One.
Right.
Ew. Ew.
Jeff, Rogue One's pretty good.
Rogue One is garbage, and I will stand by that to the day I fucking die. Rogue One made me hate Star Wars. It really
Yep.
did. I left that movie angry.
Okay.
But which one was Rogue One? Is that
The
when
bad
Han Solo
one.
dies?
No.
Rogue
Wait, is
One.
that with the one with the pretty Jewish girl? What's her name?
Probably.
I don't
that
know
ends
her
with Darth
faith.
Vader fighting everybody, and Princess Leia has a face, but it's like CGI because she's.
Oh Jesus!
That's the one where like they go to. That's the
Yeah,
one where
she
they go
fell
to the
asleep
beach
during that one.
planet and
I literally
get the
fell
Star
asleep
Wars.
in- I
the
fell asleep
Star
in the
Wars
theater,
plans.
Jeff,
The Death
just so
Star
you know.
plans.
And
It's
there
fine.
was no wine involved.
Real quick before we wrap, because I mentioned Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's only going to have 6 episodes,
I'm fine with that.
and Hayden Christensen will reprise his role as Darth Vader.
Fuck yeah.
So it's set to be a pretty fucking awesome series, and I can't wait because I fucking love
Does
Obi-Wan
James Earl
Kenobi.
Jones get be his voice?
That's a good
Is he
question.
still alive?
Most definitely.
James Earl Jones is
Most
still kicking. I just don't know.
definitely.
From Star Wars just died recently, like the original.
Carrie Fisher. That wasn't.
That's
recently.
definitely not recent.
I know.
James Earl Jones is 90. He will be 91 on January 17th. He shared a birthday with Betty White.
Oh.
Aw.
Oh,
Now I'm sad again.
so sad. They were 10 years apart.
He lost his birthday, buddy.
Yeah. Anyway, that wraps up all of our coverage for the Book of Boba Fett. Guys, are you excited for episode 2?
Dragoro?
Yeah,
Yes.
We
did.
Dragoro is a whole different thing.
We definitely talked about it. Are you guys excited for episode 2?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, right? This show was
Yeah, this is
awesome.
really good. This is a really
Yeah,
good
yeah.
episode.
I think that I might be able to get on board with this. What is the series called? Star
Trek.
Battles.
Star Trek.
Star Trek. Yeah, I think I can get on board with Star Trek now.
War of the Stars.
Hello.
It's Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the
Dancing with the Star
That's
Wars.
It. That's it. I was
Why
there.
is that not a spin-off show,
isn't there
Dancing with the Star Wars?
Well, they had that one dance game about Star Wars, and it was a meme.
George Lucas said,
I'll show you
What?
later.
I'll show you later. Show me
Which
later.
Star Wars?
So really, when I imagined it,
I think-
was always a dance show in my head. I thought about it really a lot, and there was a dance show in my head.
Which Star Wars character is the best dancer?
I mean, it's got to be the Twilight. They got 4 legs. They got 2 more legs coming out the top of their heads.
But so
I was
does
thinking about
so
Elton
does
John as
so
the
does
lead.
Dragon Goro.
You know who the best fucking Star Wars dancer is? 3PO. He does the robot.
C-3PO does probably some twerking or something.
God, we need to end the episode now.
And that is it. Thank you to all of my co-hosts for being here with me today. Troy Brittingham, thank you so much. Chris Carroll, always a pleasure. Dee, your wife, you guys showed up, and that's what matters. I'm Jeff Ackerman. That's been the show.
And
if you
Happy
liked what
New
you-
Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
If you liked what you heard, please leave us a kind review on your favorite
gonna be worse
podcasting
than last
platform.
Can we just say New
No,
Year?
please, come on.
Go ahead and give us a like and subscribe and all that fun stuff on YouTube because you can find us there now.
Well, I mean, surely 2022 can't get worse.
What could get worse than this?
Hard cut. Goodbye, everybody. I'm just gonna. Yup. The end.
Love you.
No more. No more. Don't. You shut the fuck up, Chris.
Go watch Ghostbusters 2.
Ghostbusters 2?
It's a New Year's Eve movie.
So is
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like Afterlife had a sequel and it was out already, and I'm just like, what? I don't want to end
Stay
on
on here
that.
and talk a little bit.
Thanks. Perfect.
Yeah, so hey guys, should we start talking about a different show? You just watched Cobra Kai, right? This is the whole next episode.
Cobra Kai is 4 years after Mandalorian. AVB, AFB, alcohol by percentage. It's 5 alcohol by percentage.
Did you end the episode yet?
And cut.